Hey folks, my name is Joe Sasso and this is Puree Made Easy. We're in June of 2025 and I'll be producing Puree Made Easy videos which will be solely dedicated to dysphagia cuisine. And my focus will be on puree foods. These videos are intended for people with dysphagia, the home caregiver, and the healthcare food service professional. So let's get right to it. Hey folks, Joe Sasso here for Puree Made Easy. This is the demo part of the video. And here in front of us, we have a typical pureed dish that you would find anywhere. You would be served this at any time. A pureed chicken breast, a green bean vegetable, a green vegetable. This is fava beans and mashed potatoes. And then brown gravy is typically served. And this is served throughout the whole industry. If it's not a frozen puree mold, this is what you're getting. So what we're doing here at Puree Made Easy is we are going to not serve this anymore, and we are going to use molds. The molds that we're using are industry standard chicken molds. So I'm using all industry standard for protein molds, and I cut them up individually. So this is perfect for at home where you just need one portion. This is perfect for any facility that has just 1 or 2 or 3 purees per day. You don't need a whole sheet of purees. You can cut up these individual sheets. So that's on the chicken. On the vegetable and starch, I'm using decorative molds. Here I'm using this for all of the vegetables. And I'm using this. This is actually an oval Savarin mold. It actually has an automatic indentation in here that we're going to put a little gravy in here. We're going to use these for mashed potatoes. So these are outside the box industry types of molds that we're going to use. In terms of tools that we have to use, just for the plating up purposes, we use a measuring scoop. So we measure exactly how many ounces we want to put in, a rubber spatula, an offset spatula to smooth out the puree. We have a little pastry brush here that sometimes we brush the molds with some flavor boosters. And then we have a strainer that we use when we strain our sauces. We are going to place the purees in the molds. We're going to plastic wrap them, and then we are going to cover it with aluminum foil. If it's going in the oven, it's going in the oven for about 15 minutes. We want to get up to a temperature of 155 degrees. And if we're putting it in the microwave, it'll take approximately 1.5 minutes just with the plastic wrap on top. So now we're going to spray a little pan release into the molds, so it'll be easier for it to come out. We're going to start with our chicken breast. And we're going to place the chicken breast in the mold. And with an offset spatula, we're going to smooth it out. All the edges are nice and form, and this is what we're looking for, exactly like this. Next up, we're going to do our vegetable puree. And this is fava beans today. And we're going to press it into the mold. And we're going to scrape it off. Very simple. Very simple, very easy, very quick. And the same thing with the mashed potatoes. We have a little oval Savarin mold. And we're putting our mashed potatoes in here as well too. And there you go. Perfect. Next step, we're going to put some film on top of it. So next up, what we have here is that we place plastic wrap on top of the molds. I'm going to press it down. This way the food forms into the mold and it sets up nicely. Now, if you were just going to microwave this, you can keep it in this container just as is, and you can put this in a microwave for about 1.5 minutes, and you'd want to check the temperature of about 155 degrees. And if you were putting it in the oven, you would then cover it with foil and cook it in the oven 350 degrees for approximately 15 minutes. And then you would let it set for a couple of minutes so it kind of settles in and it holds its form for it to be unmolded. When we do throw this in the oven, we would add a little water into it to create like a little water bath. I keep everything nice and moist. And the biggest issue that I've heard with people not wanting to use molds is that it would be crusty on the top of the mold or some parts of the mold. That's why it's so important. The critical piece to all this is keeping the plastic wrap right on top. It'll keep it nice and moist, and it will not create any crusting at all. It's fantastic. Super easy, super simple. 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 3 scoops, boom, done, and you're ready to go. This could be prepared in advance. It could be prepared the lunchtime for dinner time for next day, as long, you know, as much in advance as possible. Okay, our puree food has been finished cooking and it's all up to temperature. Everything is on here nicely. We're going to unwrap the molds. And the first mold we're going to start with is we start with our protein mold first. And we always lift our plate up in the beginning and then we unmold the chicken like so. Comes out nice and easy. Looks like chicken. Next up is going to be our vegetable mold. And that releases. I'm going to just wipe around a little bit. And then we have our potato mold. And then there you go. And that releases as well too. Now to sauce. As I said, this is a Savory mold, and this actually happens to work out perfect, where we put a little gravy inside the mashed potatoes. And that's a beautiful presentation. And this is going to be a chicken parm dish. And what we're going to do here is we have our tomato sauce. Our tomato sauce is all pureed up nice. Use any type of tomato sauce you'd like. I'm going to place this on top of the chicken breast, like so. So a very key component to puree foods is obviously saucing it. Saucing it as you would a normal dish. Whatever dish you have, chicken marsala, chicken franchise, chicken parm, you want that sauce to go with it. It doesn't have to be gravy with everything. And we can't do mozzarella, so what we did was that we made a Parmesan cream and we strained it, we thickened it, and we use Simply Thick gel, and we'll go over that in another video. And now we're going to put just a little bit on top, and it's going to mimic a little mozzarella on top. So this is an easy dish you can do at home, very easy. In the food service area, we would then also kind of have a little fun, and we do a little, normally you would have a chopped basil or chopped parsley as a garnish. Here we turn that into an oil, so this would be a basil oil, and we just gently drizzle around to give you a nice presentation. You can have all kinds of fun with this and do whatever you like. But essentially this is a modern day, easy to produce, properly pureed dinner. Chicken Parmesan, fava beans, mashed potatoes. A wonderful, beautiful dish that's easy to do at home. You would just need these molds at home to do so. You'd make your puree as you normally would, and we'll go over a whole pureeing process on how to properly puree it. There are lots of videos online that shows you how to puree properly, what the right texture should be. And here what I'm doing is I'm showing you how to present it in a beautiful manner so it's appetizing to the person that you're caring for, your loved one, for anyone in general. No one should have to eat puree food just kind of slopped on a plate. We can make it look as beautiful as possible, and there's so many different ways of doing it. So this is our chicken Parmesan with fava beans and mashed potatoes. Well, that wraps it up for today, folks. Thank you for joining me. For any questions, please send an email to joseph@pureemadeeasy.com. I'm Joe Sasso for Puree Made Easy, and I'll see you next time.